I am not a Christian victim because I think the term Christian victim is an oxymoron. So when all these Christians were like boo-hooing about the Olympic opening ceremony, it's like an oxymoron. You're supposed to believe in God. And I'm not trying to like be judgmental or condemning. I think a lot of people are deceived into like the Christian culture, like it's somehow pop now. It's like pop culture is becoming Christian. So I don't mean that to be like judging or condemning. As somebody who like feels very deeply for like the Spirit of Christ, Jesus Christ, drawing a blank. Why? Why? Why would I draw a blank right here? There is no such thing as a Christian victim because if you believe in Christ and the power of Christ, like I laugh because I am like a person that's living with like I'm running across a bridge and the bridge is just crumbling behind me and I would never complain. I'm not complaining. It's the way the walk of Christ goes. If you're walking across a bridge and you follow Christ and you're just focused on Christ, the bridge behind you is consistently being dismantled. And sometimes that can be very expensive. It can cost you money, it can cost you friends. It doesn't always have to be the case, but you know what? Sometimes I really feel like when is enough enough? You know what I mean? Like, when is it time to call it? When's it time to like call it? When's it time to call the times up? And we are getting very close to that moment. Day after day, we pray for mercy. Mercy is the best thing to pray for. And God's mercy is very, very abundant. But, dude, it's like not complaining. Sometimes it feels like you empathize so much with the life of Christ, and then you look out into the world. The world is, we know it's so evil. It's also like really good at the same time. It's really good. I feel like I'm being like a little bit hijacked by the Spirit of Christ because the Spirit of God is like, I can do all things. Like, I'm going to work it out. It's all going to be fine. We never fall into despair. So, the title of the video is I get a lot of revelation from God from music. And one of the songs is The Police King of Pain. And it's like, you see a cat stuck in a tree and you feel compelled to do something about it. That's the Spirit of Jesus. You see a homeless person who needs help, and that's the Spirit of Jesus. And you're like drawn to that and you do that. There's a lot of people, like the majority of the world won't do the things that you do. You understand? I picked up a homeless guy last week, and it was funny because I was driving west and he was walking east. And I was like, if I didn't have a time constraint, I would pick him up. And so I went and did my errand and I came back, and the dude was walking almost in front of my house. So I picked the dude up, and he was telling me his life story. He comes from the Schultz family in upstate New York, which is interesting because that's like he's from like further north, but you know, the gift of picking up people that God tells you to pick up is you're going to get their story, and they might apologize for telling you everything, but the truth is I was like it's actually the gift. Like the reason why people like me pick you up is because we want to hear your story, because we know how Parents are murdered and children fall through the cracks of the system on purpose so they can become wardens of the state. I was like, I know exactly your story because I work so closely with the homeless population. They will literally murder parents of children who are so gifted just to get custody of that. The state wants to get custody of that child. And now they're running around. They haven't had a shower in 3 weeks. I'm in Austin, Texas. This dude said he had been walking since Temple. Do you know that is 1.5 hour drive? So the time it takes me to drive an hour and a half, he walked in 3 weeks. And then I pass him going the opposite direction. I thought to myself, I would pick him up. On the way back, he was still walking, and he was walking in front of my house, which is on a very not busy road. It's a very low traffic road. So I picked him up and I brought him to somewhere he can actually get where he needs to go. And it's like, damn, dude, you hear the story, like, this world is so wicked, it's so evil. And it's a blessing to hear more testimony and you want to help people out. And it's like, how many people passed this guy? He walked from Temple. How many people, how many passed him for 3 weeks? Thousands of cars, tens of thousands of cars drove past this dude. And I did give him some tips. I said, a lot of these people are afraid you're going to smell bad. It sounds like really petty, but I've worked with this community for a long time and I am in the public. So I told him, I said, honestly, a lot of people would have driven past you because they were afraid of how bad you smell because you haven't showered, because his hair was long, his beard was grown out, his comforter was very dirty. I was like, so you need to go to a laundromat, you got to cut your hair. And then when you do that, I think a lot more people will help you out. He was really close to his destination. Not far, 6-hour drive. He was pretty close to his destination. And I got to hear his whole story. And it's like every time you help these people out, it's like you're helping Jesus out, of course, because this was Jesus's people, like his real people. Like they're not religious. They're not into all your religious stuff. And he's telling me all these stories that are so relatable. Not saying my family was religious or anything, but like a lot of people come from families who are like hyper religious and get really rich. And then the people in the black sheep in the family, they're like, I think you're full of shit, right? Like they light a match and they throw it on the family, and then everyone's mad at this person. His family was stealing his money, and I don't think he was lying. He was telling me how for many years, he hadn't even had a cell phone in 2 years. But he said many years prior to that, he was getting money. His family was stealing it. I don't think he's lying because he gave me very intricate details about where he was working, how long he was working, the amount of money he was getting, the type of infringement from the state that he encountered. He was like, I physically, with money, like I cannot redeem myself. They just keep me in the system. He was like, I keep trying, and they just want me to be homeless. And at the same time, even if the family was getting welfare on his behalf, he said, my family is stealing my welfare. So not only am I homeless, but my family consistently steals my benefits. I know the story, tale as old as time. And it's just unbelievable the level of ignorance, not complaining. What the frick? Who the hell are we around? I encountered what I call a glitch in the matrix. I encountered the biggest glitch in the matrix the other day. Like, a lot of people will think I'm crazy for saying this, and I don't care, but I'm going to tell you. And I don't want you to believe me. I just want you, I don't know what. I'm going to tell you a story of how weird this world is. I was driving to work on my normal route and I saw two dudes, what I thought were two dudes. And I was staring at them from afar and I was like, those are just Halloween. Listen to me. Those are Halloween decorations, scarecrows, you know? They look like men. They're just standing there, completely frozen. It's a decoration. It's just scarecrows to keep the crows away from the property. I was staring at these men from afar and thinking that is kind of like, I was like, it's kind of funny. Like, I was like, yeah, it's kind of funny that they would put these decorations out there. That's really funny. Haha. I drove up and I'm in like real time. These dudes were not decorations. You call me schizophrenic. I don't give a shit. Sleep well at night thinking Lauren Pritchard is schizophrenic. I don't really give a shit. I I experience weird glitches in the Matrix. This was the weirdest glitch in the Matrix I have ever experienced. I could tell you like many stories about glitches in the Matrix. This one was the weirdest glitch in the Matrix I have ever experienced. I'm observing these decorations on someone's lawn as scarecrows, and I thought they were weird. I thought they were ugly. And I also laughed because I also thought it was clever that they were putting out these scarecrows in the form of working men because there's so much construction going on in my country area. It would be funny if someone made a scarecrow looking like a construction worker because we mostly don't want these people here, right? We mostly want the country to stay the country. We want you to not develop our beautiful, pristine country area. So I was like, what? Oh, that's funny. Staring. I'm like, dude, wait, is that a person? No, 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 that's a decoration. Wait, is that a person? No, 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 that's a decoration. And I'm like staring from a distance. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny. They put up scarecrows. These men were not moving. They were not moving. They were standing there like complete, just uh um just prompts, like a decoration. I rolled up a little bit closer. They started moving, and I was like, "Get the frick out of here, dude!" That was the biggest glitch in the Matrix I have ever seen. These men were standing there completely frozen, like a decoration. And because it was so weird, I was staring like, "Oh my God, that's so funny. Oh, that's so clever." And then I was also confused. I was like, wait, are those workers? Oh my God, no, they're not. Those are decorations. That's so funny. They're just like scarecrows. It's just so funny. They're just like frozen. And then I drive right next to them and they start moving. Not only do they start moving, one of them looked at me and waved. And I was like, dude, this is the biggest glitch in the Matrix I have ever seen in my entire life. Okay? This world is weird. How many people just drove past that dude? Like, didn't even see him. Like, didn't think anything about his circumstance, didn't empathize. Here's the thing, didn't empathize with him, like, didn't think to. He walked for a hour and a half drive, 3-week walk. Didn't think to stop. Dude, this world is so weird. It's not right. Are we having fun yet? Yeah. Thanks, Tim. Tim's like, "Are we having fun yet?" Dude, I've experienced glitches in the Matrix that are just kind of interesting. This one was like I was staring at a decoration and it came to life. And these were just these construction workers were like, "We don't want them here." Like, come on, like, dude, like, please leave us alone. Like, go away, leave us alone. Like, thank you, but also like, please go away. And then one of them like waved to me, and I was like, "Dude, I was just staring at you like you were a decorate, and I swear you weren't moving. I swear." I mean, I'm not trying to convince you. I swear because I was like really trying to figure out if they were decorations or people. And I and I came to the conclusion that they were decorations. And I was like, "Wow, that's clever. That's really clever." And then these dudes started moving, and one of them like smiled and waved, and I was like, "God, that was the weirdest glitch in the Matrix I have ever seen." Sober October, who's with me? I'm halfway there, because I recognize, and I've seen it, and I've studied it, and I've observed it. There's a thing with because Christians love alcohol. We do. We love alcohol. We love like mind bending substances. We love feeling this kind of disconnect, but connect. And it's not good, right? None of it is good. It's proportionate to something, right? Like it's an accurate response to the environment around you. And I'm not saying that to enable anybody, and I'm not saying that as an excuse. There are nights where I'm just simply, I do not drink and I do not take CBD, I do not smoke cigarettes. There are just some nights where I just don't. There's some kind of alignment that is intact. But when things are not intact and when there's something wrong, like there's something wrong. Like I'm sensing that something is wrong. And it's a lot to handle. I mean, the world is very dark and the imposition is very heavy. And it's not an excuse because, Christ can do all things. It's interesting. So I'm on a long walk with alcoholism. I drink a lot. I really do. I drink a lot of alcohol. And I don't really have like anything else to live for. It's sort of a default, but at the same time, like I'm telling you, there are some times where it's like not the substance itself, but there is information in the behavior itself. So I walk very closely with God about what's the information inside the behavior itself. And the reason why God hasn't delivered me from this is, and I'm not delivering myself from this, there's something wrong in the world. And I'm responding to my environment. And it's not an excuse. I'm not saying it's an excuse. It's an observation because sometimes it's not the case. Am I ruffling any feathers? It's really true. There is information. There's information that comes forward with the behavior itself. Um, and everyone is different. Some people have very self-destructive type of personalities, and then some people are very high functioning. So I would be categorized as somebody very high functioning. It gives, and I'm not like saying this as an excuse. It gives me courage to say shit that I wouldn't normally say. It gives me indication that something is wrong, and I want to find out what it is that's wrong. And then sometimes I do, and it's a good thing, and it's like I'm delivered for a little while. But to use my own free will, just for example, to use my own free will to just cold turkey give up alcoholism because of the worldly imposition about it, I it's not my personality. My personality is to accurately respond to the environment that is being presented to me. And I'm not like saying that as an excuse. Some people are very different, right? Some people have a very different path. Um, to just because this was the thing in my last relationship, a man being Muslim, bringing me tons of problems that I was not aware of. If I simply just quit, then I would be adding suffering on top of the attack because there's an attack after, right? And then there's a self-medication. And a lot of people self-medicate. And then we're told that there's something wrong with us for self-medicating. I choose to not go along with the world. I say, no, there's something wrong around me, which is the whole premise of this video. There's something wrong around me, and that is not like nothing's going to change if nothing changes. It's not simply going to be a physical restraint, it needs to be an environmental change. And I think that's why you're going to see America fall as badly as it's going to fall because it's going to be very cathartic to people like me because we are simply responding to an environment that is so sick and so deranged and people are so full of lies that we literally cannot co-create with it. This is the problem. We can't co-create with this environment. It's way too um upside down and full of lies. People lie way too much. So I think we'll continue the behaviors that we continue to do, exposing the words that with the medicine, it's not medicine, it's alcohol, it's fucking poison. We poison ourselves. Most of all, we don't want to live. I mean, I'm not saying I'm suicidal, but there is an element of I have literally nothing left to live for because the world is so full of lies. And Jesus speaks to us through music. That's my soul right there. That's my soul right there. Some people have a problem with it. I think it's hereditary. And I actually think this is partly hereditary. But you got to get to the root of the problem. That's my soul right there. Like, that is me speaking out. That is me just coming unhinged and speaking out through God's people, through the drug use, the alcoholism, the homelessness, the problems, and a lot of contradicting religions. Let me plug this in. I think it's going to die here in a second. A lot of contradicting religions, they really prey upon like the works based and then they complement our religion so well because they're full of the money and the resources and the religion to help people. But Christians themselves, heavily persecuted, we have no money, we have nothing to live for. And I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, like, this is our demographic. We have been put in a place of isolation where you have no choice but to be a pulpit of judgment. Are you going to help these people? Right? Are you going to pray for them? Are you going to pray for the truth? Are you going to stop telling lies? Are you going to give them money and stop telling lies? Because a lot of people think that if they just give us money, they can continue to lie. And that is the bill of the devil. Oh, I gave that person help and then it warrants me some leeway to lie. No, you can't do that. We'll just cycle right back into the same exact thing. So I empathize. I don't do hard drugs or anything like that, but I empathize with the homeless population on the street doing fentanyl. They just want to die and they can't. You hear these stories? People just overdose from fentanyl and die like it's nothing. But these people that have been on the street who have been trying to commit suicide via fentanyl seemingly can't overdose. Like they keep overdosing and they won't die and they want to die. That's the reason why they overdose. I empathize with these people big time, because I understand. We all just want out because this world is so dark and deranged. People are such liars, so full of lies that it's like, what do you expect us to do? Do you expect us to live a lie? Do you expect us to just like get so, and I'm totally placing myself in this category of a homeless drug addict. Okay? I give them money. I don't care if they're going to buy crack with it. Have the best day of your life. What do I care? Have the best day. I give you money, go buy crack, have the best day. What do I care? Have the best day of your life because your life sucks so bad. I empathize with these people, but the irony is, I have a house, I have a job, I have friends, I have family. At the same time, I still empathize. I have been through periods of having none of this. And now I have it, and it's like I'm grateful for it. I still empathize with the homeless drug addict on the street. They have nothing to live for. What the hell do you expect us to do? Really? They have expectations, but they will never. That's my. Jesus Christ says, that's my soul right there. Like, if they hated me, they're going to hate you. They're going to want you homeless, dead, desolate, lonely. I'm not complaining. They're going to want you in all of these corners. I empathize so closely with the drug addict, homeless person on the street because I get it. Because even though I live with such luxury, this, where I live, I have a hot shower every day. I am not starving. I live in luxury compared to the rest of the world. I empathize with these people. Jesus says, that's my soul right there. It's my soul is within these people. And then people got problems that it's like, that's not these, you need better problems. It's almost like the people who can't fill their voids with having healthy relationships, they're watching pornography. You motherfuckers need better problems. You need better problems. It's a blessing. All of this is a blessing. You need better problems. Good to see you all. Rowdy Wood. Armageddon by the band Alkaline Trio. Go check them out. Oh, I will. I love that. Yep. God speaks through music. Whew. Mercy is running thin. So please prepare your homes and your families. And thanks for tuning in. Have a good night. Check you again really soon. Sorry, I look so crazy. It's okay. No one cares, right? No one cares.